Matt LaFleur's journey through the world of football has always felt like a story built on patience, poise, and an unshakable belief in the power of preparation. From the earliest days of his coaching life, he carried within him a sense of direction that seemed almost predetermined, a quiet conviction that if he stayed true to his principles, the game would eventually open its doors to him. What makes his story compelling isn't just the championship runs or the impressive win totals, but the way he has built every step of his career through relationships, respect, and the relentless pursuit of improvement. He grew from a small-town kid who loved the geometry of football into one of the NFL's most tactically polished leaders, a man who ushered in a new era of offensive creativity and cultural stability for the Green Bay Packers. And even now, as his journey continues to unfold, it remains one of the sport's most thoughtful examples of how quiet leadership can sometimes be the loudest presence in the room. Long before his name became synonymous with the sleek modern offenses that have shaped the NFL in recent years, LaFleur was immersing himself in the fundamentals of the game. He grew up in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, surrounded by football at every turn, living in a community where the sport was less of an activity and more of a shared language. His parents were both educators and deeply invested in athletics, fostering an environment where learning, discipline, and teamwork weren't ideas reserved for classrooms. They were everyday expectations. Football became the natural extension of that upbringing, not simply a game he played, but a structure through which he learned who he wanted to become. Those roots would follow him into adulthood, influencing his leadership philosophy more profoundly than he probably even realized in the beginning. When LaFleur transitioned into coaching, he didn't come in with the swagger or persistent self-promotion that many young coaches sometimes feel pressured to display. He wasn't chasing the rapid rise that the profession can occasionally offer. Instead, he embraced each role as a chance to absorb something new. Whether he was serving as an assistant at Saginaw Valley State, guiding quarterbacks at Northern Michigan, or working within smaller programs that rarely made headlines, he treated the experience with a sense of gratitude and intensity that set him apart. He wasn't the loudest voice on staff, but he was often the most prepared. Every meeting, every drill, every film session, LaFleur attacked them with the understanding that small habits eventually form the foundation of greatness. While other coaches looked for shortcuts, he looked for reps. While others wanted titles, he wanted mastery. That patience is what would eventually define his rise through the ranks. Everything about LaFleur's coaching path changed when he entered the NFL orbit. First through the Houston Texans, and later through coaching opportunities with the Washington organization, the Atlanta Falcons, and the Los Angeles Rams. He found himself surrounded by some of the sharpest offensive minds the league had produced: Gary Kubiak, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, each offering a different lens through which to see the game. Those years became a masterclass in adaptability. He studied the zone run system until it became second nature. He learned how to structure passing schemes that married efficiency with unpredictability. He sharpened his skill for disguising concepts, sequencing plays, and designing offenses built on rhythm rather than recklessness. But perhaps more importantly, he discovered the value of coaching quarterbacks not as athletes to be directed, but as partners in the creative process. That philosophy eventually became one of his trademarks: the belief that an offense reaches its full potential only when trust flows in both directions. His time with the Atlanta Falcons in 2016, particularly their historic offensive explosion en route to the Super Bowl, served as his introduction to a national audience. Working with Matt Ryan during the quarterback's MVP season gave LaFleur a reputation as someone who could elevate talent by simplifying complexity and unlocking confidence. The league noticed, franchises noticed, and players noticed. He followed that with a crucial role in the Rams' transformation under Sean McVay, helping LA rediscover offensive relevance and efficiency. Every stop, every roster, every quarterback seemed to grow under his influence, not through authoritarian coaching, but through partnership. LaFleur had no interest in being the kind of coach who ruled by intimidation. His strength was communication, connection, and clarity. And in a league defined by chaos, that skill set mattered. When the Green Bay Packers hired him as their head coach in 2019, many fans were unsure. He was young. He was relatively quiet. He was stepping into an environment shaped for a decade by a very different personality type. and he was inheriting a future Hall of Famer in Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback known for his own intense standards and competitive fire. Yet from the moment LaFleur arrived, something shifted within the organization. He brought enthusiasm without ego, structure without rigidity, and creativity without unnecessary complexity. Instead of trying to redesign the Packers into a new version of himself, he adapted his system to amplify what his players already did well. That blend of humility and innovation quickly became central to Green Bay's resurgence. Under LaFleur's leadership, the Packers rattled off one of the most successful coaching starts in NFL history. His offenses blended motion, misdirection, and balance. His locker rooms responded to his steady voice, and his ability to unify personalities made him a rare figure in modern sports. A coach who could command respect without demanding it. Rodgers played some of the most efficient football of his career under LaFleur, earning back-to-back MVP awards, while the team consistently positioned itself in championship contention. Even through playoff heartbreaks, LaFleur maintained a calm, composed demeanor that resonated with players who valued stability, especially in the NFL's volatile environment. LaFleur's leadership became even more impressive during the transition to Jordan Love. It's one thing to lead during stability. It's another to steer a franchise through uncertainty. LaFleur handled the shift with transparency and confidence, reinforcing the belief that development is not a straight line. As Love took his first steps as a starter, LaFleur's fingerprints were everywhere. The carefully curated scheme, the emphasis on fundamentals, the trust placed in young receivers, the insistence on patience. The 2023 season became a testament to what happens when a coach refuses to panic. He guided the youngest roster in the league into the playoffs, not through magic, but through teaching, attention, and unwavering belief. LaFleur isn't just a play designer. He's a stabilizer, the calm at the center of the storm, the architect of a system built for evolution rather than stagnation. Beyond professional accomplishments, LaFleur's identity as a husband and father is inseparable from his coaching philosophy. His marriage to his wife, Brienne, has always been a grounding force, a source of balance amid the chaos of the NFL grind. They've built a family rooted in resilience, patience, and loyalty, raising two sons who have grown up watching their father balance the demands of leadership with the responsibilities of parenting. LaFleur has often spoken about how fatherhood changed the way he views the world, giving him a deeper appreciation for empathy, communication, and presence. Those qualities bleed into his coaching style, shaping him into the kind of leader who values people just as much as performance. What makes LaFleur's story so compelling isn't just the wins or the innovations. It's the way he carries himself through each chapter. He embodies the notion that leadership doesn't require shouting, that discipline doesn't require intimidation, that success doesn't require shortcuts. His career has been a slow build, a collection of lessons learned through observation, humility, and hard work. And now, as he continues to shape the next era of the Green Bay Packers, he remains one of the most respected and quietly influential minds in the league. Even now, with years left to write new chapters, his legacy is already taking shape. It's in the quarterbacks who trusted him. It's in the players who grew under him. It's in the coaches he has mentored. It's in the culture he helped reinvent. And it's in the quiet confidence he brings to every sideline. Never rattled, never hurried, always believing in the process he has dedicated his life to building. Matt LaFleur's story isn't finished, but it already stands as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most impactful leaders are the ones who never need to raise their voice to change the course of a franchise. Thank you all for taking the time to honor the journey, the leadership, and the steady excellence of Matt LaFleur. If you enjoyed this tribute and want to keep celebrating the athletes and coaches who shape the world of sports, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss the next story. Your support means everything. See you in the next one.